I know sleep training can be really difficult and emotional on the parents, but when you have a set plan of action, it's way more manageable. So today we are going to talk about using the soothing ladder. When you are using the soothing ladder to teach your child self-soothing skills, it's gonna help you know exactly what to do next and have a manageable plan and keep your sanity. So the soothing ladder is exactly how it sounds. Each rung of the ladder needs to be taken 30 to 60 seconds at a time, depending on your child's age and ability to self-soothe. So the younger babies are definitely going to be on the more 30-second end. Giving babies under 6 months old 30 seconds is definitely going to give them an opportunity to self-soothe, but also have your support while you're there. But babies older than 6 months old can definitely self-soothe for at least 1 minute before you intervene. This is a very gentle, very gradual sleep training method where you are gently, slowly removing your presence from your child's room when they are falling asleep at night and giving them less and less hands-on assistance. Before we jump into each rung of the soothing ladder, I want to remind you that I have a baby sleep guide in the description box down below that you can download for free, just so that you make sure that you have everything else lined up and in order before you start sleep training. This guide is going to tell you everything that you need before sleep training and just implementing healthy sleep habits. So now, jumping into the soothing ladder, the first thing you need to do is your bedtime routine. So once your bedtime routine is over, your baby is still awake, you are going to lay your baby down in the crib. If they begin crying, I want you out of sight. That doesn't mean you need to be out of the room, just be where your kid can't see you. Give them 30 seconds. That's it. 30 seconds. If they continue to cry and you're not seeing any self-soothing skills, then make your presence known in the room for 30 seconds. Just standing there so they know, hey, mom's here, dad's here, and everything's okay. Sometimes that's enough for a baby to be reassured and to just fall asleep. However, if that is not enough and your baby is still crying, then you can move to the next rung of the ladder and use your voice. This can be humming, singing, or just using your key phrase saying, mommy's here, I love you, daddy's here, it's time for night-night, and just using your voice so that your baby really knows that you're there. Now, 30 seconds later, we're gonna jump up to the next rung if your baby has not calmed down. And this is when you can either replace your child's pacifier, give them their lovey if they're old enough to have one, and see if that external source will help them calm down. So I say external source being a pacifier or a lovey, so it's not you putting your baby to sleep, but something else that is soothing them. So you're gonna stay there for 30 to 60 seconds, and if it's not helping, your baby's still crying, then you're gonna put your hand on your baby and you're just going to keep it there for 30 to 60 seconds. You're not rocking back and forth yet. That's the next step of the ladder. When we're on that next step is when you can start rocking back and forth, rubbing on the belly. If they're rolling over independently and they roll to their back is when you can do back tapping. Anything that is just giving your baby some motion and movement. And while you're doing this part of the ladder, anything that you've done before that, you can continue to do. So if you're rocking your baby side to side, back and forth, and the pacifier falls out, go ahead and put it back in. Or if you're patting your baby's back rhythmically, you can sing a song with it. Anything that's gonna get your baby distracted from crying is going to help. So the theory here is that your baby can't hold 3 thoughts in their head. So if you're rocking them back and forth, humming a song and putting the pacifier in their mouth, that's 3 things that is going on, and then they're just like, okay, that's enough, I'm not crying anymore. But if that doesn't work, we're jumping up the next rung of the ladder. This is when you pick your baby up. Now, prefacing this with, you only hold your baby until they stop crying. And then you put them back down and go to the bottom of the ladder again, okay? You are not holding your baby until they fall asleep on you. You are not rocking them to sleep. You are not nursing them to sleep. This is not the time to do that. This is the time to pick them up, reassure them, let them know you're there, put them back down once they are calm and still awake. This is only going to work in the long run if your baby is falling asleep in the crib, and then they can transition through sleep cycles in the middle of the night because they know that they're waking up in the middle of the night exactly where they fell asleep. Now, the very last rung of the ladder, if absolutely nothing else worked, and it is a time for a feeding, obviously feed your baby. This is something that you should talk to your child's pediatrician about. Do they still need a feeding? Should you be feeding throughout the night? That's a parental decision. That is not up to me. However, I advise only to feed your baby in the night when it's middle of the night and it's a natural feeding time, not at bedtime. This should not, like this rung of the ladder, it's almost untouchable, okay? So untouchable unless your doctor says that the child still needs a feeding at a certain time. So a lot of times with my sleep training clients, I will say anytime after 2 a.m., you can definitely offer a feeding. If it's before that, you need to work the soothing ladder until your child falls asleep. So you're probably wondering how this is going to work to help your baby fall asleep independently if you're constantly picking up and putting down and rubbing bellies and shushing and putting pacifiers in and doing all these things on the ladder all night long. But what you need to continue doing is making progress towards more amounts of time in between starting the soothing ladder. So maybe nights 1 through 3, you're giving your baby 30 seconds. Maybe nights 4 through 7, you're jumping to 60 seconds, okay? And then maybe, what did I just say, 4 through 7? So then maybe nights 8, 9, 10, you're giving 2 minutes and then 3 minutes and then 4 minutes. So you're increasing this amount of time that your child is able to self-soothe. And since you kind of gave them those skills of putting the pacifier in and grabbing the lovey and anything else that feels soothing to them, they're going to be able to do this on their own. Once again, I want to remind you to grab the baby sleep guide in the description box down below to help you lay the foundation for a lifetime of positive, healthy sleep habits. If you need help with any of this, I would love to help you one-on-one. Set up a free evaluation call with me. Let's hop on a call and talk about which sleep consultation package is best for your family. For more sleep training advice, watch this playlist over here. Click this button over here to subscribe to my channel and keep blooming. Mwah!